Hello and welcome back to Storytime at Nana's house. I am so very glad that you're here right now. So the story I want to show is an awesome one. This is a classic, but it is still a wonderful story just the same. And it is Lady and the Tramp. And this was produced by my friends over at Parragon, who've given me permission to share this with you now. So let's read. Lady had the perfect life with her owners, Jim Dear and Darling. When she was 6 months old, they gave her a pretty new collar with a brass name tag. Lady proudly showed the gift to her friends, Jack and Trusty. "She's a full-grown lady," said Jack. Tramp's life was very different. He was a street dog. He lived on scraps and helped his friends avoid the dreaded dog catcher. One day, Tramp overheard Jack and Trusty telling Lady that Jim Dear and Darling were expecting a baby. "What? A baby?" said Lady. "A home wrecker, that's what it is," said Tramp. Lady's happy life was about to change. The baby came, but then Jim Dear and Darling went on a trip. They left Aunt Sarah and her 2 Siamese cats to take care of the baby and Lady. There was only one problem. None of them liked Lady. The cats made a mess of the house and pretended that Lady had caused the trouble. "Oh, that wicked animal," said Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah took Lady straight to the pet store. "I want a good, strong muzzle," Aunt Sarah said. The muzzle scared Lady. She jumped off the counter and ran out the door, not knowing where she was going. Lady ran and ran. Soon some big, mean dog started to chase her. Lady was scared and she ran into an alley. Luckily, Tramp heard all the barking and raced to Lady's rescue. "Oh, poor kid," said Tramp, looking at Lady's muzzle. "We have to get this thing off. Come on." Tramp took Lady to the zoo. He thought one of the animals might be able to help, but there was a policeman guarding the gate. They sneaked past the policeman and began visiting the animals, working their way through the alphabet. Alligator, apes, none of them could help. Then they arrived at beavers. Beavers loved to chew, and Lady's muzzle was soon off. Lady was free again, and the beaver had a new log puller. Using that muzzle productively. To celebrate, Tramp took Lady to supper at Tony's restaurant. Tramp's friend Tony liked Lady and fed the pair his specialty, spaghetti with meatballs. Tramp and Lady accidentally picked up the same strand of spaghetti. They chewed from end to end, and their faces drawing closer until they shared a kiss. What? Lady and Tramp were falling in love. They were so happy that they left the restaurant to go watch the moon rise over the city. As Tramp walked Lady home, the next morning they passed a chicken coop. "Ever chase chickens?" Tramp asked. He couldn't resist. Lady did not like the idea, but she followed him anyway. The chickens ran around the yard squawking and squealing. "Hey, what's going on there?" the farmer called. Lady and Tramp raced away as fast as they could. But Tramp soon realized that Lady wasn't behind him. She had run into the dog catcher and had been taken to the dog pound. Oh, no! Lady was scared at the pound, but at least she was surrounded by other dogs. After a while, the dog catcher came to see her. Reading Lady's collar, he knew where to take her. "You're too nice of a girl to be at this place," he said, and he returned Lady to Aunt Sarah. At home, Aunt Sarah chained Lady to the doghouse in the backyard. Lady was so sad. Even Jock and Trusty couldn't cheer her up. Aw, poor Lady. Then Tramp arrived with a gift for Lady. It was a nice juicy bone. "You've abandoned me," she told him. She couldn't believe he left her to be caught. Lady tried not to notice how hurt Tramp looked. "I thought you were right behind me," he replied. "Goodbye, and take this with you," Lady said, returning the bone Tramp had given to her. Lady's heart hurt so much to listen to anything that Tramp had to say. But as Lady turned away, she spotted something. A rat. It was creeping into the baby's bedroom. Oops. Did Nana skip a page inadvertently? Dear me. Then Tramp arrived with a gift for Lady. I read that about the bone. Oh my goodness. Sorry. But as Tramp turned away, she spotted something. A rat. It was creeping into the baby's bedroom. Lady was chained up, so there was nothing she could do except bark. "Stop that," Aunt Sarah called. "Hush!" But Tramp heard and rushed back to Lady. "What is it?" he asked. "A rat upstairs in the baby's room," Lady gasped. Tramp ran into the house. He had to catch that rat before it hurt the baby. Lady pulled and pulled on her chain until, snap, she was free. She raced to help Tramp. The rat had climbed into the baby's crib. It couldn't go in there. Tramp leapt up and shoved the rat away. He knocked the crib over, but the baby was safe. Tramp had saved the day. Whew, that was close. Oh my goodness. The baby's cries woke Aunt Sarah, who ran into the room. "What have you done to the baby?" she screeched. Lady looked at Tramp. Tramp looked at Lady. They had saved the baby, but Aunt Sarah could see. She saw those 2 dogs and a broken crib. She called the dog catcher. "Take those dogs away." The dog catcher arrived and put Tramp in his wagon, just as Jim Deer and Darling returned home. "What's happening?" Jim Deer asked. Lady tried to show them that Tramp had saved the baby, but no one could understand. The dog catcher took Tramp away. Aw, poor Tramp. Jock and Trusty ran after the dog catcher's wagon. They had a plan to stop it. They barked loudly, scaring the horses. The wagon tipped over, freeing Tramp. Jim Deer and Lady found him and took him back to their home. Everyone finally realized they owed Tramp a big favor. The next Christmas Eve, Jock and Trusty came by to see Lady and Tramp and their 4 new puppies. "They've got their mother's eyes," said Trusty. "There's a bit of their father in them too," said Jock, watching a mischievous little gray puppy. Everyone was happy that Tramp had become part of the family. And that's the end. Da, 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 da. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful story. Nana likes stories with happy endings, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. It is time for me to go, but before I do, I just want to encourage you to continue letting your light shine by being kind. Until next time, take care of yourself. God bless you. And please remember that this Nana right here loves you. Take care.